Good afternoon, my movie-loving brothers and sisters. Thank you guys for joining us on this Wednesday afternoon on the Screen Talk Live YouTube channel, where we like to talk about all things movies, movie news, and other screen-related news. I am, of course, your humble host, Key Toothman. I am joined today by my friend, colleague, and co-host, Lucas Farney. Lucas, how are you doing today, buddy?
Pretty good, man. I'm enjoying the snow. I mean, it didn't
last long, but it was nice while it was there.
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Yeah, it was the first snow I really got to see because I wasn't here. You know, obviously for the Christmas blizzard or whatever blizzard. But yeah, it's nice.
For sure, sure. Yeah, been playing a lot of RuneScape lately, right?
For sure.
Too much RuneScape going on.
Maybe.
But anyways, yeah, guys, we're going to jump quickly into things because we've had some technical difficulties. Took the show a little while to get started. So quickly, to get a couple things out of the way, we have an Xbox Series S that we're giving away. There's a video up on the channel. Go check that video out. But to give you a little rundown, if you send in a super chat during a live show, including today's live show, it enters you in for a chance to win that Xbox Series S. So make sure you're doing that. And also, we do have our new channel membership up. Shout out to all our current channel members. All your support goes a long way to keep improving the channel. So thank you so much for that. With all of those things down, we are going to jump right in to our first main topic today. And our first main topic today is this. So the Razzie Awards have committed a Razzie. And it appears they've done so by nominating a 12-year-old child for Worst Actress. Let's read a little bit of this coming to us from Screen Rant. Following the stark backlash, the Razzies apologizes now after nominating Firestarter's 12-year-old star Ryan Kiera Armstrong for Worst Actress. Nominations for the 2023 Razzies were released on January 22nd and quickly caused a stir when the 12-year-old Armstrong was among the nominees for Worst Actress for her role as Charlie in Firestarter. Alicia Silverstone, Bryce Dallas Howard, Diane Keaton, Caius Corderelio were also nominated for the award, but Armstrong stood out as the only child recipient. Many celebrities, including Julian Hillard, Devon Swa, Joe Russo, shamed the Razzies as soulless and mean-spirited for nominating a child. The Razzies have always been controversial for their tendency to insult and denigrate the work of others, but many felt it was especially cruel to target a child. Okay, I just want to say this probably goes without saying that this is a bad look. Not a good look for the Razzies. Like I said, the Razzies have committed a Razzie. Obviously, you don't. Look, I'll be the first to admit. First of all, I haven't seen Firestarter, so I know nothing about this actress or this particular performance. But I will admit, in most occasions, child actors or actresses are pretty not great. There's hits out there, and it's easy to name them because there was very few child actors that were actually really great. You know, Dakota Fanning comes to mind. Quickly, Macaulay Culkin comes to mind. You know, but again, typically, also these people don't grow up to be great actors past being a great actor as a child. But anyways, this is shameful. Obviously, this is fucking ridiculous. Shame on you, Razzies. You know, as a guy who has a young daughter, this feels like a real big mistake, like a real big PR mistake, like a PR nightmare too, I would say, for sure. But Lucas, you're hearing this. What are your thoughts on the Razzies? You know, nominating for her for this award, and now B, coming out and be like, oh shit, our bad, we're sorry, I guess this wasn't a good idea.
I mean, I don't know. I understand to an extent their thinking behind it. It's wrong to actually do it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But the reason we love the Razzies, no matter how whatever controversial they are, when they're not insulting children, that is.
Right.
You know what I mean? It keeps people like it keeps people sharp. You know what I mean? It's
Sure.
like a roast almost. You
Sure.
know? And if you're an adult person,
I think it's great for people like that have been in the industry for a while, that have the ability to just kind of laugh at themselves.
For sure. And you should be able, absolutely should.
A 12-year-old?
But a 12-year-old, well, and listen too, like you just said, man, almost all kid actors are not great. I haven't seen this either.
Well, they should all be getting Razzies then? Or?
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying is
Right.
that, like, was the performance so bad that it warranted it?
Right. No,
You know, no. I mean, you can't, like a 12-year-old's not mentally mature enough.
They
to
have their
get
mind
it.
hasn't
Right.
even developed. So doing
Right.
that could really be detrimental to
Yeah.
their future, their career future.
How
this
they
is one of
view
those
themselves,
things
like
where,
confidence
for
and
sure,
stuff,
for
for
sure,
sure.
and yeah, you
Not a
can't
good
you can't
look.
do stuff like this to just kids, man. That's for sure.
I mean, if they are, again, you know, it could have just been a fluke, PR nightmare of a fluke, you know.
yeah,
but
for sure.
if they are sorry, and you know what I mean, learn from your lesson and move on from it, I guess. But it sucks for that girl. I mean, you know, I'm sure she put her heart and soul into it, and it's probably. I mean, anytime I'm watching a child actor, I always keep it in mind. It's a
And I mean,
child
sometimes
actor,
the Razzies are about, you know, someone who gave an okay performance in a bad movie too. You know, like not even an okay performance, but like a, you know what I mean? Like yes. So it's I
an
can
award,
see
yeah.
where they're kind of trying to be like, hey, this is like
right.
we're honoring this girl, you know. But it's just yes.
It's impossible probably for the 12-year-old
to feel that way. No way. Yeah, no way. But yeah, guys, you guys are hearing this. The Razzies have nominated and now apologize for doing so. If I can get my main screen here to come back up, a 12-year-old actress. What are you guys' thoughts on all this? Do you think this is ridiculous? Do you think it matters at all? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right, with that down, we're going to jump into our second main topic today. And our second main topic today is this. So I have this article here that I want to pull up, potentially, if my computer will agree with me. There we go. I mean, not really. There's those good old technical difficulties. Let's see here. There we go. I have this article here that I have pulled up from, again, Screen Rant, that there was like this little interview with Steven Spielberg, and he had kind of mentioned, I want to see if I could get to the quote. Again, computer's being it is not working with me today. I want to see if I could get to this quote, but here's the quote here. He says, this is from Spielberg. He says, quote, "I'm really encouraged by Avatar: The Way of Water and Top Gun: Maverick being nominated for Best Picture. It came late for the film that should have been nominated a number of years ago, Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. That movie would have definitely garnered a Best nomination today. So having these two blockbusters solidly presented on the top 10 list is something we should all be celebrating." And I definitely do agree to that to an extent. However, I do want to say on the topic yesterday of us talking about the Batman not being nominated for an Academy Award, that leads me to ask this question. In 2022, if Steven Spielberg believes that, and the 2023 Oscars, that The Dark Knight would have been nominated for Best Picture, is he, not only is he saying, but does that mean that the Academy would agree that that movie is better than the Batman? Because I don't think it's better than the Batman. And if Spielberg believes that would be nominated now, then how come the Batman wasn't nominated now? It is a better movie. It's a superior movie. I will agree that the best performance comes from The Dark Knight with the performance from Heath Ledger as Joker. We can all probably agree to that.
That's why he won the Oscar for it.
For sure. However, that performance doesn't make the movie more better. And the fact of the matter is that the Batman is a way better movie to me. It's, again, as we said yesterday, it's the greatest Batman movie ever made, for sure. One of the best superhero movies ever made. So I put the question to you now, Lucas. If Spielberg believes this, do you agree with him? Do you believe in this year with the movies we've had, if Dark Knight was released this year, is it on the list for Best Picture, A? And B, where does that put the Batman then?
Yeah. I would say that in a vacuum, in a year where the Batman, didn't come out, and Spielberg was saying this, I mean, I would agree with him. You know what I mean? Prior to, I guess, hearing that the Batman totally got snubbed for it, I would have agreed with him for sure. Because, I mean, like you were talking about on the show yesterday, and I was saying in the chat too, that like the Academy's changed a lot in, what is that, 14 years or something? It has. I mean, all of these blockbusters, and Steven Spielberg is kind of the king of blockbusters, or one of them at least. Yep. But as for where that puts the Batman, I don't know. I'm trying to, because I love Steven Spielberg, and I'm trying to, in my mind, make it seem to me that it was just a total coincidence that he says this, like, right after the Oscar list comes out. I mean, we were talking about the Batman all day yesterday, It seems like weird timing that he's going to come out and say The Dark Knight specifically of all of them. Why not Iron Man? Or, you know what I mean? What about any other movie that came out in 2008, 2009? Right. And I mean, I guess all of them
there is
a
bunch of backlash online currently from Batman fans. They're like, whoa, how come this wasn't nominated for more shit? I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it was a down year at the theater, and like we were saying, it's the second, in my opinion, it's the second best film of the year. So, yep. How come it's not Best Picture? How does Elvis get it over it? I haven't seen it, but I just find it hard to believe that Elvis is a superior movie to the Batman. It's got to be. There's no way. It's hard for me to believe. But guys, you guys are hearing this. What are your guys' thoughts? Do you agree with Spielberg that in this year of 2022, that if The Dark Knight would have released, that it would be nominated for Best Picture? And if you do agree or disagree, where does that leave the Batman movie for you, directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right, with that down, we are going to jump into our third main topic today. And our third main topic today is this. So, when I was a kid, was a big fan of something my mom and dad was a big fan of, and that was Wallace and Gromit. And I was just scrolling around earlier today and found this article here from Screen Rant, lots of Screen Rant today, where I was shocked to find out that Wallace and Gromit are set to return in a new feature film. Let's read into this a little bit. Iconic animation duo Wallace and Gromit are returning in a brand new upcoming movie. The characters were first introduced. Sorry, give me 1 second. The characters were first introduced back in 1989 in the short film A Grand Day Out with Wallace and Gromit. It opened to rave reviews. The short, directed by Nick Park, currently has 100% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was nominated for an Oscar. Park continued to work on Wallace and Gromit content over the years and even won Oscars for 3 titles within the franchise, including the feature film The Curse of the Were-Rabbit. The 30th anniversary for the release of The Wrong Trousers comes with a brand new Wallace and Gromit movie. According to the official website for Wallace and Gromit, it will be the first Wallace and Gromit film since 2008's A Matter of Loaf and Death, which was the UK's most viewed television program of the 2000s with over 16 million viewers. The new project is set to release sometime in 2024 exclusively on Netflix worldwide, except the UK, where it's set to debut on the BBC first. Read what Park has to say about the upcoming movie below. His quote is, it's very exciting to have some brand new Wallace and Gromit stories in the works as we celebrate the anniversary of such an important moment in the character's history. The Wrong Trousers was a special film for all of us, and it's wonderful that it continues to find new fans today, and that we can bring those fans more adventures and more inventions, more mishaps, and more problems for Gromit to solve. This is super exciting news. I'm, again, huge fan of Wallace and Gromit, and I can't wait to see this. 2024, straight to Netflix. Don't got to go out to see it. Can just sit at the couch and enjoy it. Man, this is exciting and fun news in a world where it seems like we keep getting better and better animated movies. I mean, think of Paddington 2. These things are 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
these are some of the best films ever made, and it just keeps getting better.
Right?
But yeah, Studio Ghibli, we're in the height, I believe, the golden age of animated feature films.
Just
and
movies
with streaming,
general,
you can just pop them out so much. But Lucas, you're hearing this. A, are you a Wallace and Gromit fan? And B, are you excited about this news?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a super fan. I haven't watched it in a long time. I definitely grew up, or when I was growing up, would watch it. I don't know if I ever totally understood it as a kid. I should go back and rewatch it, or just a little bit. I'm sure I'd watch this, especially since it's just straight to Netflix. But I mean, it is exciting news. It always is. Like I do remember enjoying it. And, clearly, like you said, you used to watch it with your parents, and now you'll get to take Azazel out and,
right.
see the movie.
Or as they said, I mean, and this is a staggering thing to believe, but in the UK, it was the most viewed, the last one, was the most viewed thing, period, of the 2000s for them.
In 2008, right?
It says of the 2000s.
No, I know, but
period.
it came out in 2000.
Sure.
That's what I'm saying.
So that means that it is most viewed in the UK than anything ever, basically, over there, right? That's pretty crazy.
I mean, it's Wallace and Gromit in it.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That's exciting, man. I mean, as long as it's done well, and I mean, clearly, it seems like the same passion and love for the characters is there, and I'm excited to see what they come up with.
Yeah, for sure. I am too. Guys, you guys are seeing this. You're hearing this information. Are you guys Wallace and Gromit fans? Are you guys excited to know that there's a new feature film coming out in 2024? I know that you guys in the UK are excited. So definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right. With that down, we're going to jump into our fourth main topic today. And our fourth main topic today is this. So, Lucas, I don't know if you ever had a chance to check out this little Barbarian movie starring our boy, Justin Long. But yeah, it did really well in theaters. It made a ton of money on a very small budget. It also was received very well critically. I believe it's in the 90%. I believe the audience has it even higher. We're finding out now with this article here from The Hollywood Reporter. Give me 1 second. Let's see here. All right. So, New Line, it looks like, in a bidding war has won the sequel, which is titled currently Weapons, from the Barbarian filmmaker Zach Cregger. Let's read a little bit of this. The buzz had been building for more than 2 weeks. A new project from Zach Cregger, the out-of-nowhere filmmaker behind the cult horror hit Barbarian, is coming. There were offers, sight unseen, some even hitting 8 figures before the project was taken to market. Producers were calling Cregger's representatives, begging to be involved. No dice. Nobody was getting a peek until it was to hit the market on the morning of January 22nd. In the 24 hours after Cregger's new horror project Weapons was sent to Hollywood studios, a brief but intense bidding war exploded, and just as quickly, a whopper of a deal was made. Closing whirlwind negotiations Tuesday, New Line has won the rights to Weapons, signing a deal that seems unprecedented in modern times, especially for a filmmaker with essentially just one movie under his belt. Yes, there is the money, 8 figures to write and direct, according to the sources. The numbers are more than double the entire budget of his previous movie alone. That alone is remarkable and harkens back to an older era of Hollywood where spec sales cause weekend bidding war frenzies. But there's more. There's guaranteed green light. There's Cregger receiving final cut. Pinning a threshold is met during test screenings. There is a controlling interest and back-end pot. And, of course, there's a guaranteed of theatrical release. Quote, Zach proved with Barbarian that he can create a visceral theatrical experience for audiences and that he commands every tool in the filmmaker tool belt. said New Line's representative and CCO Richard Brenner in a statement. We couldn't be happier that he, Roy, and Miri, and JD and Rafi chose New Line to be the home of his next film and hope it is the first of many to come. Sources say that if things turn out well with this project, a goal would be to ultimately have Krager become a significant horror voice and supplier for the Warner/New Line movie factory. This is crazy. As they said, this is an unprecedented kind of deal that we just haven't seen of. Like they were saying, it's kind of an old era Hollywood deal to see this kind of control and command one film in. We often were, talking about Jordan Peele and how, people were praising him so much, and he's still only 3 films in, and he's not getting deals like this. This is crazy. A hell of a deal. I'm happy for him. I wasn't the biggest fan of Barbarian. It was okay. I didn't think it was terrible, but it had very weak moments to me. But again, really love Justin Long, and I'm glad people went out and seen it. It did really well, and I hope that this sequel does well too. Lucas, you're hearing this information. Huge deal, big deal. Barbarian, have you had a chance to check it out? What are your thoughts?
I haven't had a chance to check it out. I hadn't even heard of it until just now. I was doing some research about it, but yeah, that that is really impressive. I mean, for one, was this his feature length? It wasn't. It was just his feature length horror film, right? Because did you ever watch The Whitest Kids You Know?
No.
Well, it was like a comedy group kind of. They made it almost like Monty Python a little bit, but that's where he comes from, and he Anyway, it's just great. You were just talking about Jordan Peele. I loved Whitest Kids You Know, growing up, and it's great. I mean, it's so interesting that comedic actors or whatever, when they switch over into the writer director seat, go horror and clearly do it really well. It's just fascinating. But did they say that he got final cut?
Yep.
Say on it.
Yeah,
Man,
he gets
that
final
is
cut,
crazy.
guaranteed theatrical releases, guaranteed
crazy.
back-end money, and he's also getting paid more than his whole last film cost to make, which was around $5 million.
Right. That's awesome. I mean, that's the American dream right there, right? You know what I mean? But yeah, no, happy for him. I should go check this out. I mean, it looks really, really interesting, and clearly there was a lot of people who really enjoyed it, enough to do that. So I also want to say that I think it's kind of cool that, I hope we get to see more things like that. You know what I mean? More bids, old-fashioned style Hollywood a little bit. Obviously, there's some downsides to it, and that's why it kind of probably phased out a little bit. But we've come to such a, accessible time with streaming and everything that you would almost expect those things to start to come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and look, I don't want to say it, but on the topic of Whitest Kid You Know, I guess I'll have to say it. Maybe there's some white privilege going on in this situation.
Fair enough.
And comparative, at least comparative to Jordan Peele's situation, because again, Peele doesn't have a deal anywhere close to this, and he's got 3 now under his belt that have all been at least kind of solid. So it kind of
that is
makes you wonder how these things work, how Peele how are people not bidding war for his shit? I mean, come on. I mean, Nope and everything that he makes, even me who literally everything he's made, it's just gotten less good.
I know.
But still, when I see something new come out, I'm like, oh yeah, Jordan Peele, new horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just,
you might be on something.
There may be a little bit of white privilege going on there. That's all I want to say.
And what sucks about that, right, with the bidding war kind of thing that we're talking about, is that means that there's enough interest in not just the IP, but the writer and director behind it. And Zach Kreger is a white dude, the whitest kid right?
Right.
He gets this. I want to say that there's a very small chance that it is just a coincidence that Jordan Peele's not getting the same deals. And what sucks about that, right, is that the people with money get to decide which ones they're going to want to bid on.
What
and
really sucks about that is like that's kind of whole Jordan Peele's
whole thing. Right, yeah.
His
so
whole
ironic.
message
Yeah.
is like too much white privilege and we don't get enough of the same kind of credit. I mean, even in Nope, like if you take the idea of the main characters, Keke Palmer and I forget the guy from Get Out's name, but they're from old school Hollywood, right? Their grandfather and their father like were literally like
for sure
some of the first horse trainers
were for Hollywood. Yeah.
It's all about, it's always like representing that and trying to show you like we're still getting shit on, bro.
Some
like
more
we're
outright
still
than others,
look how we're treated, still. Even though our family, a black family helped make horses into movies, and we're still, treated this way or whatever. And all of his, I mean, the Hands Across America thing and us, I mean, it's all trying to speak kind of to, this kind of thing. So yeah, so there may be some of that going on there. Guys, what do you guys think? Do you think this is a good deal, a bad deal? Did you like Barbarian? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right, with that down, we are going to jump into our fifth and final main topic today. And our fifth and final main topic today is this. Lucas, we are 20 days, 20 solid whole days. That's it. 20 solid whole days away from Ant-Man and the Quantumania of Madness. And I got to be honest with you, I couldn't be more hype and excited. So with 20 days to go, I'm sure we're going to spend a lot of time moving forward in the next couple of weeks, spending lots of time talking about Ant-Man and the Quantumania of Madness, which is my title for it, obviously. And so I just want to, the other day we played this little game where I said one thing from Phase 5 MCU. It could be a character. It could be anything you want it to be. Just what do you want the most coming into Phase 5? And Lucas, I believe your answer was Mephisto. And my answer was getting the Hulk back to being the Hulk. And so now I want to, with 20 days down on the countdown clock to Ant-Man and that Quantumania of Madness, I want to propose the same question today, which is 20 days from now, we're going to be nestled in at an AMC theater on a Dolby 4K projector with a tub of popcorn and a rock hard cock because we are so excited for this movie. And when that film starts, the question that I have is, what is the one thing that we want the most out of Ant-Man and the Quantumania of Madness?
Wow.
And again, there is no limits here. It could be a character. It could be a plot line. It could be a death. It could be a resurrection. It could be an end to a story. It could be the beginning of a new story. It could be anything you want it to be. And I, again, am going to take the lead on it. Unless you would like to go first, Lucas.
You're good.
Okay. I'm going to go first, and I'm going to say this. And I'm just going to be blunt about it. My one request, my one thing that I want from this film is for it to be good.
For sure.
That's all. I don't care anymore. I just don't care anymore. Is Beta Ray Bill in it? Awesome. That's crazy, and I'm super stoked if he is. But I don't care if he's not, as long as the movie's good. I'm tired of these middle-of-the-road Marvel movies. Multiverse of Madness was the middle of the road more than any other thing that I've seen in the MCU. Thor was a step down from that. Thor 4, right, was a step down from that. Black Panther 2 was a step down from Black Panther 1. And as a whole year in TV included, Marvel really just didn't have a great year, specifically with the films. I don't know if I see one Marvel film this year that I was like, yes, that's great. It just didn't happen for me. Where with like the Batman, when I seen it this last year, it did do that for me. So yeah, as much as I want all of that other shit, and that I want plot lines, and I want certain characters to show up, and I want all of these other things, I really do. I have so much that I could tell you that I really want. But the number one thing that I really, really want is for them to make and deliver a good movie to me. For me to really walk out of that theater and feel that Marvel gushiness again. For me to go, oh my God, I can't wait. And what's this mean? And we got to talk about it. And that's what I want to do again. I don't want to just have another experience at a Marvel movie, because to be honest with you guys, the more of those that we start leading into, the more likely it is for me that I'm just going to start falling off and getting off this wagon, man. And if things keep picking up with DC the way that they are with the Batman and with James Gunn over there and seeing what he can do, maybe I end up over there full time, and at least I get those good movies every once in a while. But it seems like I'm not going to get that. I'm holding out hope. This year's a big year. We got the Marvels, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Ant-Man 3, obviously. All of these things coming this year for Marvel. So I'm holding out hope for a good year, but it's all kicking off in 20 days, and I just want a good movie. Lucas, same question posed to you. You get one thing that you could have in this movie. What do you want?
There's so much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Kang, obviously, finally getting some answers, right? Like you said, Quantum Mania of Madness, because it's going to be everything we hope it's going to be everything we hoped it was for, MOM. But Bill Murray, we keep forgetting he's going to be in it. But I think at the end of the day,
I think I'm just trying to forget it.
no, I think at the end of the day, my one thing. It's kind of similar to yours, just more in a more, they could almost go together. Anyway, it's just that I want it to be a good Ant-Man movie. I mean, not that Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man 2 aren't good movies. They're just good movies, you know what I mean? But they're goofy, and I want to really, really care about Ant-Man and, and his family and everything. And I think Peyton Reed, right, said that's what he wanted to do for the third one, was like an Avengers level, like a big movie, not just a goofy,
like Captain America Civil War.
Right. And really what this looks like is, because this is the third of the trilogy,
Civil War.
Right, but it's also like Ragnarok, and it's also like, it seems like it's taking the best parts of all of the other threes, like even No Way Home a little bit with the multiverse and stuff.
Yeah,
so
I still think there's a good shot we see Garfield or Maguire in here.
Somebody. I mean, this is
There's
really
going to be lots of variants.
Yeah, right. Well, like you said, this is exactly, it seems like this is setting up to be what we were expecting from Multiverse of Madness, really. Like that, whereas that was kind of opening the door, this is walking into the multiverse.
Yeah, and I want to leave excited for Loki season 2 and shit. You know what I mean? I want to be thinking, what's going to happen? What does this mean for Loki or whatever? I want
everything. I mean, this is the new big bad.
Yes,
like, it's got to be.
Remember when WandaVision ended? It was like someone shot me in the fucking head.
Do you remember when WandaVision was
Kurt
going?
Cobain style,
we had
bro.
a freaking whiteboard, and we were like,
I know.
Dude,
but it was like
great.
It was like I got shot in the head, bro, because I realized so much. But there was so much unanswered. Still is. What happened to White Vision? All of these things like that. It was so much to deal with, but it kept us talking. Mm-hmm. It kept us guessing. It kept us wondering when Mephisto was showing up. Like, it kept us doing all those things. And I think that is what they really have going for themselves as a franchise with this whole thing.
Well, it's the community. It's it's the group excitement of us all wanting to know more about these stories and these characters and go deeper. I would say, though, I think because WandaVision started off Phase 4, and really Phase 4 was.
And this is starting off Phase 5.
Rough. No, I know. I'm just saying, I was just reading something Kevin Feige was saying about how Phase 4 was a lot of building, a lot of new characters and stuff.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Yeah.
No, I know, and there's
as if this would be different. I mean, you got X-Men, Fantastic Four.
His quote specifically was that with Phase 5, it's really gonna put the gas to the pedal, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whatever. And I think what we're talking about is kind of like that, right? Like maybe part of phase 4 is that there were so many like setups, so many like, oh, what happens with White Vision? Oh, what's going to happen with the Bengals and the, rings? Right. And I think we're finally going to start to get some answers, and that might end up making the things that we kind of had to slough through a little bit better. Almost like Thor: The Dark World in a lot of ways. It wasn't that great.
The problem
of a movie,
with that way of thinking is that I agree with that, but it feels like all of that was same thing with Spider-Man and Multiverse of Madness. It felt like, but this is the moment where it all starts to come together. And when we went and watched Spider-Man, and it was like, oh, no, it's not. So it must be Doctor Strange. And then we went and watched Doctor Strange, and we're like, oh, this is going to be the moment it all comes together. Nope, this isn't it either. And then there's that moment at the end of Venom, and then it's just so much, and it's like, wait, when is the moment where it all comes together? And it's all
phase
like
6. It's going to be Avengers, Kang Dynasty, and Secret Wars.
So I gotta shit wade through 2 phases of mediocrity to get to some real storytelling.
First of all, that's a separate thing. I mean, clearly, it seems like Marvel is going back to focusing on quality versus quantity, which is good in itself. But I mean, think about. I think the only reason not the only reason, but part of the reason we're kind of as impatient or like jumping to the gun of, oh, this is where it's all going to come together is because we're still kind of coming down from like Infinity War and Endgame. But you think prior to that, like Thanos was in it, 3 times before, and 2 of them were post-credit scenes, right? Yep. So all I'm saying is that we do keep going into these movies expecting, oh, this is the moment that we're going to put it all together. And that's kind of on us in a ways for expecting that. But I think when we look back, we'll see that those are just it's just breadcrumbs.
That's fair because it did take 20-some, movies to get to that.
And that's what Marvel has going for them, like you said.
And I understand that, but I don't think you could do that again. I don't think you can now spend a decade and a half setting up another story to deliver that. I don't think that's the option
Not
here.
Just like that.
No.
I mean, not in the same way.
So you can't.
Got to be more outright.
On that topic, we're still settling down from Infinity War and Endgame. Bro, it's been almost a half a decade.
I know.
Almost a half of a decade.
We did lose like a year and a half or 2. But
I get it, but
no,
still.
I agree.
I mean, that's the crazy thing is that we are now, bro, think about this. We are now in the 5-year gap period. Like, it's over, bro.
What do you mean?
Like we are now like where Endgame starts. We are fucking there, guys.
You're right.
We are living it now. That's how long it's fucking been. So yeah, something's got to give. And like I told you, you can't leave the Avengers franchise on the shelf for 5 years. You just can't do it. There will be an Avengers movie in the next 2 years, as it was announced. There will be 2 of them actually in the next year or 2. So, but yeah, guys, what are you guys' thought on this? Do you think that Ant-Man is something that is going to be that finally we tie all this stuff together moment?
Or at least start to.
Or at least start to? Or is there something, and also is there something specific that you're excited for and that you're looking forward to the most in this new Ant-Man 3 film? Definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. All right, with that down, we are all out of main topics today. I appreciate you guys all being here. We still have these technical difficulties. See if I cut over here to my second camera. Nothing. Nada. Nathan. I don't know what's going on.
Nathan.
It's weird. It's happening, though. But I got these 2. So, yeah. Weird technical difficulties. I'll have to figure those out. Hopefully, we'll have them figured out by tomorrow's show. Lucas, when can we expect you back in the studio again, man?
Friday.
Friday. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So Lucas will be here Friday. We may have Trevor here tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Also, guys, don't forget to go check out our video for the Xbox Series S that we're giving away and our new channel membership. Lucas, you've been great today. Where can people find you at, buddy?
Thanks, man. Instagram, Twitter, at Lucas_Farney. RuneScape, Lucas T. Farney.
And quickly, what is your OnlyFans?
Oh, that's private. You're gonna have to be a silver
it's
member.
It's Lucas capital D Farney.
Whoa, it's Lizard King for sure.
But guys, you know where to find me at Keaton Toothman on Twitter. Go follow me over there, or just like and subscribe here on the channel so you can have your movie news when you need it and where you need it. But yeah, we will be back here tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, facing all the backlash of Michael Jackson videos that we will ever put out. We will face all of that head on. We stand by what we say. Michael Jackson would have loved me when I was a small white boy. That's a fact. We can't deny that. So anyways, moving on. I see we've lost most of our viewers now. So, but yeah, guys, we'll be back here, like I said, tomorrow, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we will see you guys then.